Okay, now we're going to talk about the explicit formula, but move on to recursive. So remember the explicit formula. So in this case, we have to determine if it's geometric, so repeated division. So 5 divide -1 is -5. -25 divide 5. And then 125 divide -25. So this common ratio is -5. So we have that. Let's find our other terms. So our first term in this sequence is -1. And remember what the explicit formula, it's a sub n is equal to a sub 1 time, this is for geometric, r times the number of terms. So it's the number of terms you're specifying, subtract 1. So if we had to find the 8th term, 8 would go there, 7 would go there. So let's do that. Let's do a sub 8 is equal to a sub 1 is, the first term is -1. The common ratio is -5. And then the exponent will be 8 subtract 1, which is 7. All right. So when you type this into the calculator, the only thing different is there would be a caret right there. You type that into your calculator, the 8th term in that sequence is 78,125. All right. So now this is where the recursive formula is coming in. So the recursive formula just says, well, how do you find then the next term? Well, intuitively, we could just multiply this by -5, and that's what the recursive formula is. So recursive would be a sub n is equal to the previous term, so a sub n subtract 1 times the common ratio. So in this case, we're going to find a sub 9. The previous term is 78,125. So this is a sub 8. So n subtract 1 times -5. So your calculator probably already has 78,125. Multiply that by -5, and boom. The 9th term is -390,625. All right, let's try another one. 8 divide -4, you get -2. -16 divide 8. All right, so this common ratio is -2. A sub 1 is 4. So if we find the 8th term, then n subtract 1 will be 7 because it's the 8th term. So it's, remember the formula, a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 power. So a sub 1 is -4. Our common ratio is -2. And we're going to raise that to the 7th power. So let's go ahead and do that. -4, parentheses, -2, parentheses, caret 7, enter. A sub 8 is 512. And then to find the 9th term, you just take the previous term and multiply it by the common ratio. So this is recursive. This is explicit. Wow, I messed up some letters there. There we go. Recursive. So a sub 9 would equal -1,024. And just in case, I'll double check. Yeah, -1,024. All right. So in arithmetic, let me come up here to one of the arithmetic ones that we did, the previous video. Okay, so notice we have our D, we have this in the explicit formula. So for arithmetic, the recursive formula says A sub n is equal to the previous term plus the common difference. So in this case, we had A sub 52, so the 52nd term is 376, so the 53rd term would be the previous term, which is 376, plus the common difference. So 384. And then we could check that out. We could say A sub 9 is equal to A sub 1 plus 9 subtract 1 times oh, I knew why this was not making sense. I just put in the 9th term. We're checking for the 53rd term. There we go. I knew that was not going to end up looking right. So 53 subtract 1 is 52. And the common difference is 8. So I'm just going to type that in. Negative 32 plus 52 times 8 equals, so the 53rd term in this sequence would be 384. But look at, if we knew the 52nd term, all we had to do was add 8 to it. All right, that's it for this one.